Why can't you be more like your brother?" My father's words cut like they always did, sharp and casual, as if he wasn't stabbing me in the chest. I set my fork down. "Because I'm not Daniel." Mother sighed, shaking her head. "Don't be dramatic. Your brother makes us proud. Well, you try." "I do more than try," I muttered. Daniel laughed. That perfect, polished laugh he used at his office parties. "Come on, don't take it personally. Not everyone's cut out for success." I stared at him, the golden boy in his fitted suit, while I still wore a shirt I'd bought secondhand. "Success doesn't mean flashing your car keys at the dinner table." He leaned back smugly. "It means responsibility. Something you've never understood." Emily shifted uncomfortably beside me. She kept her eyes on her plate, but her hand brushed my arm under the table. Quiet support. "Always quiet." Father pointed his knife at me. "Your grades were a disaster. You dropped out of college? Daniel carried this family's reputation while you dragged it down." "I was drowning, not dragging," I said through clenched teeth. "But no one cared to notice." Mother clicked her tongue. Excuses again. My chest tightened. Every word from them was a verdict, and I was always guilty. "Do you even hear yourselves?" "Every dinner feels like a trial," Daniel smirked. "Well, the evidence doesn't exactly work in your favor," Emily finally whispered. "Can we not fight tonight?" But Father ignored her. "You work meaningless jobs. You have no ambition. What do you expect us to say?" "That I'm trying," I snapped. "That maybe you could support me instead of tearing me apart every time." Mother's voice softened. But it was worse than her scolding. "We only want what's best for you." "No," I said, shaking my head. "You want me to be Daniel? And since I'm not, you'll never see me as enough." Silence hung for a moment, broken only by Daniel sipping his wine. "You know what really hurts?" I said quietly. "I could win the lottery tomorrow, and you'd still tell people it was Daniel's influence." Emily's eyes lifted, shining with sympathy. "That's not fair," she whispered, though too softly for anyone else to care. Father waved a dismissive hand. "We're not here to coddle you. Grow up." My hands clenched in my lap. I wanted to scream, but the walls of this house had swallowed my voice for years. Daniel leaned forward, lowering his voice like he was confiding a secret. "Listen, little brother. Some people are leaders. Some people, well, they're just not." I glared at him. "And you think I'm the latter?" He smiled. "Prove me wrong," Mother chuckled softly. "He can't, Daniel. He never could." That was the final straw. I shoved my chair back, the legs scraping against the floor. "Do you even realize what you're doing to me? I walk into this house and feel like dirt under your shoes. Then leave if you can't handle the truth," Father said coldly. Emily reached out. "Please don't go. Not like this." I paused, staring at her. The only one who ever looked at me like I was human. But the weight of their words pressed down so heavily I could hardly breathe. I sat again, but my voice shook. "You all think I'm a shame? That's fine. Just stop pretending it's love when all you give me is disappointment." Daniel chuckled, filling the silence. "Don't be so sensitive. You'll figure yourself out one day." "Maybe," I said, "but when I do, it won't be because of you. It'll be in spite of you." No one replied. The silence was thicker than before, except for Emily's quiet sigh. Dinner dragged on, every bite tasteless. I barely touched my food, my appetite killed by shame. As the plates were cleared, Daniel bragged about a new promotion. My parents clapped like proud fans at a concert. I stared at my empty plate, wondering how I could feel so full of rage and so hollow at the same time. When we finally left the table, "I'm sorry," she whispered. "It's not your fault," I said. "You didn't put me in this box." She bit her lip. I wish I was braver. "You already are," I told her. "You're the only one who sees me." Her eyes glistened, but she smiled faintly. "Don't give up, please." I nodded, but my heart was heavy. Every word tonight carved the same truth deeper into me. In their eyes, I was the family's shame. And no matter what I did, I couldn't escape it. Yet somewhere deep inside, a spark flickered, The stubborn thought that maybe, just maybe, one day I'd prove them wrong. Mother's voice was syrupy sweet that night, too sweet to trust. "We have an announcement," she said, smiling across the table. Daniel leaned back, smug as ever, one arm draped around Claire. She was dressed like she belonged at a fashion show, not in our living room. I cut a piece of meat with my knife. "What now? Another promotion for the golden boy?" Daniel smirked. "Not tonight." Father cleared his throat. "We co-signed a loan." My fork froze. "A loan? For what?" Daniel's grin widened. "For me, of course. Expansion. Bigger office, better clients." I blinked. "And why do I care?" Mother clasped her hands. "Because, darling, it's under your name." The knife slipped in my hand, clattering against the plate. "What?" Father frowned. "Don't raise your voice." What did you just say?" My pulse roared in my ears. Daniel looked like he was enjoying every second. "Relax. It's just paperwork." "I needed a co-signer, and you weren't using your credit for anything worthwhile anyway." My jaw dropped. "You put a massive loan in my name without asking me?" Mother gave me that pitying look. "It's for the family. Daniel is an investment. You should be proud to help." "Proud?" I laughed bitterly. "You just chained me to debt I didn't agree to." Father's tone turned sharp. "Stop exaggerating. Daniel's business will thrive. You'll be fine. I'm already drowning in bills. And now collectors will be calling me for his mess." Claire's voice finally entered, smooth and mocking. "Honestly, if you can't handle responsibility, maybe you shouldn't complain. Daniel's taking the risk. You're just lending your name." I glared at her. "I didn't lend anything." "You all stole it," Daniel shrugged. "You're being dramatic. When I win, we all win. When you fail, I'm destroyed." My chest burned. Father slammed his fist on the table. "Don't talk about failure in this house." "We believe in Daniel, and not in me," I said flatly. Mother shook her head. "Why must you always twist things? Can't you, just once, stand behind your brother?" "Stand behind him? He's standing on my back." Silence hit, thick and heavy. Then Daniel chuckled. "You're welcome, little brother. You get to be part of greatness now." I shot to my feet. "This isn't greatness. It's theft." "Sit down," Father ordered. "No." My voice cracked. "I won't keep letting you strip me bare for him." Mother's face hardened. "Ungrateful. After all we've done for you, what have you done? You've spent my life telling me I'm nothing. Now you've signed away my future." Claire smirked, leaning closer to Daniel. "See, this is why he'll always be bitter." Emily's hand brushed mine under the table. I glanced at her. She slipped me a folded napkin, her eyes pleading. I pocketed it without opening it. Daniel tapped the table like he was bored. "You'll get over it." "You always do." "Not this time," I whispered. Father rose. "Enough. You'll show respect." "Respect." My voice rose with years of swallowed rage. "Respect is earned, not stolen. You've never given me one reason to respect this circus you call a family?" Mother gasped. "How dare you? How dare you?" I cut in. "Use my name like it's worthless." "Like I'm worthless." Emily stood suddenly, her chair scraping. "Please, stop yelling. This is tearing us apart," but Father only pointed at me. "If you walk out now, don't come back." I stared at them, all Daniel grinning, Claire smirking, my parents glaring, Emily crying. My throat tightened. "You think I'm your shame? Fine, but don't expect me to clean up the wreckage when Daniel falls." I shoved my chair back and stormed out, the sound echoing in my ears. In the hallway, I unfolded the napkin Emily had slipped me. Scrawled in her rushed handwriting were 2 words: "I'm sorry." I closed my eyes, rage and sorrow battling in my chest. Sorry wasn't enough. Not anymore. The phone rang the next morning like it was mocking me. "Unknown number." I answered anyway. "Is this Mr. Carter?" "Yes, this is First National. We're confirming your recent loan activity." My stomach dropped. What loan? A pause. The $170,000 business expansion loan you co-signed. Payments begin next month. I gripped the phone tighter. I never agreed to this. Sir, your signature is on the document. My knees weakened. That's impossible. We'll email you a copy. When the line disconnected, I sank onto the couch, trembling. A moment later, Emily appeared in the doorway, her face pale. Another call? I nodded. It's real. The debt's under my name. Tears welled in her eyes. What are we going to do? I don't know, my voice cracked. I don't have that kind of money. The email arrived. I opened it, staring at the PDF. My signature forged so neatly, it looked authentic. I stormed back to the house that night. Daniel was lounging with a beer, feet on the coffee table. You forged my name. I shouted. He didn't even flinch. Relax. I copied it from your driver's license. Pretty good, huh? Good? That's a crime. Daniel smirked. Only if someone reports it. And you won't, because it'll ruin the family. Mother entered, arms crossed. Lower your voice. Neighbors will hear. Do you even care? He stole my identity. Father stepped in too. He didn't steal. He borrowed. For the greater good? The greater good? My laugh was hollow. You've tied me to debt I'll never escape. Daniel leaned forward. You'll thank me when my company takes off. Emily's voice quivered behind me. And if it doesn't? Daniel shrugged. Then he suffers. Not me. I spun toward him. You think this is funny? Honestly. He smirked. A little. I wanted to hit him. My fists shook, but Emily clutched my arm. Don't, she whispered. I turned to my parents. You let him do this. You knew. Mother's lips tightened. Daniel is destined for more. You're resilient. You'll survive. Resilient. Another word for disposable. I backed toward the door. If the collectors come for me, I won't protect him. Father's glare followed me out. You'll regret that. I slammed the door behind me. That night, lying in bed, Emily whispered, We need a plan. A plan? My voice was hoarse. Yes, to fight back. Or they'll bleed you dry forever. I stared into the dark. For the first time in my life, I believed her. 2 days later, I went to Daniel's office. Sleek, modern, full of glass and leather, paid for with my name. He was in a meeting laughing with investors. I barged in. Out, I barked at the others. Now, they exchanged nervous looks, then shuffled out. Daniel leaned back in his chair. You're really making a scene lately. I slammed the forged loan papers on his desk. Fix this. He skimmed them casually. Already done. What's your problem? My problem? You've shackled me with debt I never agreed to. Daniel stood, straightening his suit. Do you know why Mom and Dad trust me and not you? I clenched my jaw. Because they're blind? No, he smirked. Because I take risks. You hide. You play safe. You're forgettable. I slammed my fist on the desk. Forgettable doesn't mean worthless. He circled me like a predator. Face it too, we're always the spare. The backup. If I fail, they still have you to mock. If I win, they have me to worship. Either way, I'm the star. My fists clenched. One day you'll choke on that arrogance. Daniel laughed. Maybe, but until then, enjoy being my collateral. I leaned closer. When collectors start circling, I'll hand them your name. I'll burn your empire to the ground. He froze for a moment, then smirked again. Empty threats. You don't have it in you. I turned to leave. Try me. That night, Emily and I met at the diner across town. She held my hand, her eyes fierce. We need evidence. If you prove the forgery, you can clear your name. But that means exposing my family. She squeezed my hand. They stopped being family when they sold you out. I stared at her, guilt heavy. I don't know if I can do it. Her voice softened. Then let me help. The waitress refilled our coffees, giving us space. I whispered, if I go to the police, Daniel will paint me as jealous. A liar. They'll believe him. Not if you have proof, Emily said firmly. Think he forged your signature. There must be drafts, practice sheets, something. My mind raced. He used my driver's license. Maybe he left notes. Maybe his office trash. Emily leaned closer. Exactly. We find it. We bring him down. I nodded slowly. For the first time, I believe I can fight back. But even as I spoke, fear gnawed at me, because Daniel wasn't the kind of man you exposed without consequences. I didn't have to wait long. A week later, debt collectors started calling again. They didn't just want payments. They wanted blood. Emily listened as I paced the living room. The phone pressed to my ear. I told you, I said through clenched teeth. I didn't take the loan, sir, the voice replied coldly. We don't care. Pay or your wages will be garnished. The line went dead. Emily whispered, It's starting, and she was right. Daniel's empire looked polished from the outside, but cracks were forming. He had overspent. Investors were nervous. Rumors spread fast. I showed up at his office again. This time, I wasn't alone. 2 men in dark suits were leaving as I arrived. They looked furious. Inside, Daniel sat at his desk, his perfect hair a mess. I smirked. Trouble, he glared. None of your business. It's my business when my name's on your sinking ship. He stood, his face pale with rage. You think you're smarter than me? You'll never win. Win. I leaned closer. I don't need to win. I just need you to lose. He slammed a glass of whiskey on the desk. Get out. I turned slowly. The collectors are circling, Daniel, and they won't stop until one of us bleeds. That night, I told Emily, this is my chance. If his empire collapses, so does the lie. She nodded. Then we have to push. Find proof. Expose him before he drags you down with him. Her voice gave me strength. For the first time, I wasn't just surviving. 2 nights later, I went back to the house. I didn't plan to, but anger pulled me there. Mother was in the kitchen, stirring soup. She barely looked at me. Where's Dad? I asked. Out. Her tone was clipped. Daniel entered from the hallway, smirking as always. Look who came crawling back. I slammed the forged loan documents onto the counter. I'm done protecting you. Either confess, or I'll take this to the police. Mother's spoon clattered. You wouldn't watch me? Daniel stepped closer, his voice low. You really want to drag our family name through the mud? What will people say about you? I barked a bitter laugh. They already call me the failure, the shame. I have nothing left to lose. Father entered then, his face hard. You will not betray this family, betray. My chest heaved. You betrayed me first. You chose him, always him. Daniel smirked, but I caught the flicker of fear in his eyes. I leaned forward. The collectors know where I live. When they realize I'm broke, they'll come here. How long before your golden boy shines less bright? For once, silence fell. Thick, heavy, Mother whispered. You wouldn't. But Daniel's fists clenched. He knew I meant it. I left without another word, slamming the door. That night, Emily whispered in bed. They're afraid. I nodded. Good. Let them be. Fear is the only language they understand. It happened faster than I expected. Investors pulled out. His office closed overnight. By morning, Daniel was all over the news. Fraud suspected in Carter Enterprises. Emily showed me the headline with wide eyes. It's starting. I went to see him. Not to gloat, but to end it. He was in his penthouse, pacing, hair messy, phone buzzing non-stop. You. He snapped when he saw me. You did this. I shook my head. No, Daniel. You did this. All I did was stop covering for you. He grabbed my shirt collar. I'll ruin you. I shoved him back. You've already tried. But guess what? I survived. His eyes burned with hate. They'll believe me. They always do. Not anymore. I held up a folder. Inside were the copies Emily and I had gathered, emails, drafts, proof of his forgery. This time the truth speaks louder. Daniel's face crumbled. For the first time, he looked small, weak. "Please," he whispered. "Don't." I stared at him. The brother who stole my name, my future, my worth. Why should I save you? He dropped to his knees. Because without me, the family falls apart. I turned toward the door. Then let it, and I walked away. The court ruled in my favor 2 months later. The forgery was proven. The debt erased. Daniel, bankrupt, blacklisted. A lone mother called me once, her voice trembling. "We need help. Your father's health is failing, Daniel. He can't provide anymore." I sat in silence. All those years I was the shame, the disappointment, the backup. Now I was their only hope. Emily touched my hand. "You don't owe them anything." I swallowed hard. "I know. But maybe I owe myself something." I visited the house. Father sat in a chair, frail. Mother avoided my eyes. Daniel wasn't there. He had vanished into his own ruin. Father whispered, "Son, forgive us." I looked at him, the broken man who once chose another over me. "Forgiveness isn't easy," I said quietly. "But I won't carry your sins anymore. That weight is yours." I walked out, Emily beside me. The sun hit my face, warm and blinding. For the first time, I felt free. I wasn't the family's shame anymore. I was the man who survived.